Martin Soderstrom used a combination of fast riding plus a supersized portion of 360 variations to nearly take the win, settling for second and the 80 championship points that come with it. At Crankworx Innsbruck, the smiling Swede did one better and combined racecraft with a flurry of double tail whips to claim the W and a perfect 100 points towards the season-long battle.
Redemption for Martin Soderstrom.
Here in Whistler, the Crankworx Speed and Style Championship is close enough that he can almost taste the champagne. So, can the highly stoked but all too often injured Crankworx veteran finally claim his first Speed and Style World Championship? Or will riders like Kyle Strait, Sam Reynolds, or 2018 Speed and Style World Champ Thomas Lemoine wipe the smile off his face? Round 3 of the Crankworx World Tour, the Cliff Speed and Style, live from Whistler, BC. Live on Red Bull TV.
Yes, Cliff Speed and Style time here from beautiful Whistler, British Columbia. Welcome viewers all around the world, whether you're joining us from the comfort of the couch in your living room on TV, or if you're joining us on Red Bull TV app. We're excited for the competition today. We hope that you share that excitement with us because it is going to be a good one. I'm your host, Cam McCall, alongside your race expert for all things Crankworx, Andrew Needling. Andrew, we've moved Speed and Style to Blackcomb, big jumps, technical turns. What do you think about this course?
Well, the riders are saying this is one of the most technical courses they've ever ridden. So look, there are going to probably be some mistakes out there. It's tough to get speed for the second jump as well. So hopefully we're going to see as big tricks as we've seen in all the rounds past.
Well, technical course, just like you said, means the potential for some mistakes. We've seen a lot of mistakes this season out of the 2018 Speed and Style World Champion, Thomas Lemoine. Now, unfortunately, kicking off the season at the first stop down there in Rotorua, New Zealand, with a little bobble. Check it out. He was going up against Martin Soderstrom. And Martin Soderstrom was able to make it into that final right there. But the young gun, Billy Meeklum, just holding tight, knowing that there's a long shot you're going to beat Martin Soderstrom, but Martin Soderstrom having a mistake, and Billy Meeklum able to catapult himself into the limelight by winning stop number 1 here in Rotorua. Billy Meeklum, of course, in the field again out here today. Martin Soderstrom in the field as well. But Thomas Lemoine having issues early on in the season, but he's back for more right now. But you know what? It would be a long shot for him to repeat on that World Championship hunt, because this is what it looks like right now. Thomas Lemoine all the way back in 5th place behind Greg Watts, Kyle Strait, and Billy Meeklum. But that man right there, number 1, Martin Soderstrom, he's got a pretty good chance of winning this thing today, but he's going to have to make it into the semifinals. I feel like it's about time we catch up with the big Swede. So Martin, looking at the qualifying list, you qualified 7th. And if you crunch the numbers on the World Championship, you need to make it into the semifinals, AKA the round of 4, to win the overall World Championship. So statistically, you're close to being able to pull that off. How are you feeling on the course?
It's definitely a bit different. Like the first stop, Rotorua, we have a bit more of a Pumptrack course, and then in Innsbruck, it's a bit more like just keeping the speed, and here it's very rough and very like dual slalomy. So I feel like it's a bit favored for the racers actually this time, but I guess then we just have to do bigger tricks.
Any changes to your bike setup in order to accommodate for this track?
Yeah, a little bit bigger tires and a little bit less tire pressure, I would say. And my bike is pink now.
Well, Martin, considering you're in a title hunt here, how is that going to affect your strategy tonight?
Good question. I guess there's not really any holding back. It's just to try to relax. I felt during the qualifying that I was a little bit tensed up, but yeah, it's just to try to forget about that. And there's no holding back. I mean, if we're looking at the qualifying times, everyone was super fast. So yeah, it's just to send big tricks and go as fast as you can.
Well, you've been doing everything right all season, a first and a second to your name. We're rooting for you for that World Championship. Good luck out there, Martin.
Thanks a lot, boys.
Well, great. Martin sounding confident out there. It's nice to hear his analysis of kind of where he stacks this course up in terms of how it compares to the other courses so far this year. Now, if you haven't been with us all season, you're curious, what in the world are we talking about, Cliff, Speed, and Style? Well, the format is interesting. Break it down for them, Needles.
Well, it's a head-to-head format. We're going to go 1 run per course. It's a time trial qualifier format to get into this thing. Then in the runs, they're going to get a trick bonus, so you can decrease your total time. And like in slalom, the lowest combined time will advance. We've got your 2018 reigning champion in the field, but Martin Soderstrom is looking to take this title.
So that's how we're going to be working it out here today in Speed and Style. You heard Martin Soderstrom talking about the course. Let's get a closer look by going on board with Matt Jones and Casey Brown in your GoPro course preview.
What's up, guys? I'm Matt Jones.
I'm Casey Brown.
And we're here at the 2019 Cliff Speed and Style. It's my first time riding Speed and Style, and this is the first event where women have been welcomed to race this. You excited?
Yeah, stoked to see all these girls hitting these big jumps. It's awesome.
Right, let's show you this GoPro course preview. All right, dropping in. The first section's super flat on this course. You've really got to put the power down and build speed for the first jumps, which are huge. Seeing the girls hit those huge jumps. Then we go into these insanely flat corners. They're grass right now. Hopefully they're going to cut up because that's going to make racing super interesting. Into a step down. Yeah, Casey. Fast corners. Super well built berms. Now we've got the second trickable feature on course. Yeah, Casey, that was huge. That's where you're going to save time with big tricks. Into the finish. 3 rollers. Woo! Yes, that was perfect.
Nice work.
That's the greatest course I've ever ridden.
So fun.
So good.
So good.
Nice one, Casey.
Nice one, Matt. Good job on keeping up.
That was the GoPro course preview of the 2019 Speed and Style course. Enjoy.
Great course out there. Just like Martin was saying, you know, it's really technical. It's a long course as well.
It is, but I like the rawness. There's those flat turns, so it's not just someone that can ride pump track and big jumps, so you can't just be a slopestyle athlete. That's why we've seen someone like Mitch Rapalato. He's qualified fastest. And then someone like Sam Reynolds, we always knew that he's got a lot of bike skill, and he's proved it because he's qualified in 2nd position.
So we've talked about who's racing out there today. We've talked about what they're going to be racing on. We've talked about the format. So we should be educated enough at this point to make some predictions. Let's do a little thing we like to call one guarantee and one surprise. I'll kick things off, and I'm going to start my gambling problem here in Whistler right now by doubling down on my failure last night. I guaranteed you that Thomas Lemoine was going to win Pumptrack, but this is what happened in Pumptrack. Thomas Lemoine was going up early on against Niels Bensink out of the Netherlands. Thomas Lemoine, the reason why I said he was going to win is because you never see him make a mistake, and he didn't. He just got beat out by Niels Bensink, and that happens in these bracketed forms of racing, but I'm doubling down on my prediction from last night. I'm going to say that Thomas Lemoine will not make any mistakes today. He will win Speed and Style. Now, Andrew, I'm going to put you on the spot. I want you to give me one prediction of a surprise. What you got for me?
Well, that is a bold move with your guarantee, but my surprise, Mitch Rapalato. We haven't seen him in Speed and Style yet. 2 nights ago, he won the slalom. My surprise, he's qualified in fast. Well, first, sorry.
Well, okay, yeah, that's a surprising moment that we have on our hands, but I want a prediction. Come on, don't waffle on me here. Give me a prediction that will be surprising out there.
I'm so confident. I'm going to say that Mitch Rapalato will go on and he will win this race. That's
All right,
my
cool.
prediction.
Under the table, we got some Canadian bills on our bet. So I'm curious, that's us putting our money where our mouths are. I'm curious, if you had the opportunity to build a fantasy team, who would you put on it, Andrew?
Well, I've got the likes of Thomas Lemoine on there, Mitch Rapalato, Martin Soderstrom. I feel like I've got a really strong team. And then look how cheap Garrett Mitchum is there at only $105,000.
So smart money there, putting Mitch Rapalato on your team. A guy that we always love to see in Speed and Style, but we haven't seen him here for a couple years in Speed and Style. But since he's so high up in the rankings, leading the king of Crankworx overall, he's going to have to try everything he can to better Adrian Lerone out there. And of course, Martin Soderstrom, a lot on the line for him here in the Crankworx Speed and Style World Championship. Big surprise though, Mitch Rapalato qualifying in first. We're going to be in for a doozy. Remember a few years ago when he was trying front flips?
I hope he's not going to try those again, but you know what? You never can predict with Mitch Rapalato. If he's in a title hunt or something like that, you know he's going to throw it all on the line. But Martin Soderstrom, he needs to attack. Exactly that strategy he used. He cannot play it safe.
Well, it's going to be a good day of racing. Thanks to all of you joining us on Facebook, on the Red Bull TV app. And of course, those of you who are tuning into your favorite channel who's broadcasting Crankworx, you came to the right place. This is Cliff Speed and Style. It's going to be a good race, so do not go away.
Yeah, it was almost a guarantee. But you want a gambling problem.
Jill Kittner stomps her authority once again.
Nikolai Ragakin wins the Triple Crown of slopestyle. The king of Crankworx, Sam Blankensob. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Time to get racing underway in your Cliff Speed and Style here in Whistler, British Columbia. Stop number 3, the Crankworx World Tour. Final stop of the 2019 season. Beautiful day, 67 degrees Fahrenheit, AKA 19 Celsius. A little bit of wind, but nothing that can throw these top professionals off their game. And here's who we're looking at today, Andrew.
Well, we spoke about Mitch Ropalato, but Matt Jones, it's his first time here. And look at Sam Reynolds down the bottom, Martin Soderstrom. We've got some heavy hitters here tonight.
Yeah, all right, kicking things off, first bracket, Mitch Ropalato going up against Tom Van Steenbergen. That will be interesting because Mitch Ropalato is your first place qualifier. Tom Van Steenbergen is always full of surprises. Both of these riders have been known to do front flips in their speed and style runs. So this could be quite entertaining to start things off here. Mitch on the left, Tom Van Steenbergen on the right side of your screen. Here we go.
So the ever-motivated Mitch Ropalato, he is in the King of Crankworx title hunt. He's hungry for some points tonight.
Oh yeah, 360 for Mitch Ropalato.
And the front flip from Tom, as you predicted, Cam. So Tom Van Steenbergen losing a bit of ground in the flat turns. That's to be expected. Mitch Ropalato, he's opted for clip pedals, so look to him to be really good on speed here tonight as well.
Jeez, Mitch on a tear in the speed category right now. Now
So-
this jump here, this final jump, is a little technical, so don't expect to see huge tricks, and if you do, expect them to score very high.
So no surprise there. Mitch Ropalato will be your speed winner. The judges, they'll tally up these run scores, and then we're going to get a differential.
So Tom Van Steenbergen is obviously going to score higher on both of the trick jumps there. You're seeing the scores coming in. Tom pulling down a 105 on jump number 1 for that 360, a 56 on that combo backflip there.
And that's only the number that counts. So there we have it, your leader by 0.7. We will throw them back to the top of the course. They're going to switch lanes, and they're going to go head-to-head again.
So if you're curious how these judges are determining the time deductions for these tricks, they have a little cheat sheet here. So you saw Mitch Ropalato doing that 360. He would have earned 56 points for that. If you do an even better 360, get it on that downward axis, 70 points. But then things like front flips, which you saw from Tom Van Steenbergen, are more technical, more difficult. They're going to score higher. So you're seeing things like flip triple bar spin all the way there, scoring 140 points. So there is some method to the madness here. That's how we're able to get these judges scoring these tricks so quickly. Who are our judges? Those fine gentlemen right there. The same judges you'll see for Red Bull Joyride. Esteemed panel there. Pierre Edward Ferry, Paul Rack, Hank, and we got Jeff Gulovich down there as well. So they know what they're talking about. They've been doing this on the F&B World Tour all season long. And that's the way we're deciding things here in speed and style. But second heat in the gate right now. This will be a good one. Matt Jones in his first ever speed and style appearance going up against a former king of Crankworx, Adrian Lerone.
Very evenly matched here. Matt Jones qualifying in 8th position, Adrian Lerone in 9th position. So the spin from Adrian Lerone.
And a 360 bar spin to table for Matt Jones. So that's going to score high, 3-part combo.
So Matt Jones keeping Adrian nice and honest in the flat turns. Matt Jones known more for his slopestyle and his dirt jumping skill set. Clearly a great bike handler as well. Another spin from Adrian Lerone.
Backflip tuck no-hander for Matt Jones. All right, Adrian Lerone through the line first. 0.83 back is Matt Jones, but Matt Jones had some big tricks there. 110 points for his 360 bar spin to tabletop on the first jump. 100 points for the backflip no-hander. Now Adrian Larone with tricks, but not as big as Matt Jones, but he was out there in the lead far enough to where he will be the leader going into run number 2 in their round of 16 bracket. All right, getting back up to the top of the course. Our next heat is loaded up in the gate right here. And this should be a good one as well. Luca Cometti on the right side of your screen, going way outside of his comfort zone. I saw him in practice doing front flips. He's known to be a racer, but definitely pushing the limits here in speed and style. He's qualified 12th. Daryl Brown qualified 5th. Who will have the advantage in their run 1 heat?
Daryl Brown, no stranger to the speed and style podium. He's one man that we know will lay it all on the line. So Luca Cometti. Wow, we've got a backflip from Luca from a race background.
Daryl Brown with a 360 double bar spin. We call that the double truck driver. Luca fast in that flat corner, foot out.
So into the old school slalom terms. What an amazing course they've built for these riders here. It's on Blackcomb Slope here in Whistler. So it looks like a no-hander, trying to get a table.
Backflip there for Daryl Brown's gonna score him higher than Luca's trick. Here we go, Luca, big lead on time there through the finish line, 1.29 ahead of Daryl Brown. But Daryl Brown scoring a 126 on jump number 1. Waiting for scores on jump number 2. Only a 40 there for Luca Cometti, playing a little bit of defense, but Daryl Brown, what will his score be? He gets 100 on jump number 2. Let's crunch the numbers, calc it out. What will the deficit be? Yep, Daryl Brown's tricks have paid off. He will be the leader moving into their second run. So let's go back and look at a replay from this run. Now this is where Daryl Brown, you see the gap between these riders, sizable here. Now just a straight backflip, hands still on the handlebars, feet still on the pedals, so he's only gonna score minimum points for that. But look at this, 1 bar spin, 2 bar spins in that 360. That's why he was able to score that 126, and that's exactly what he needed to do to maintain that advantage despite not crossing the finish line first. But Luca Cometti is looking fast. Will he pull that front flip out here when we get those guys back up to the top of the course? He might need to. All right, next heat in the gate right now. Kyle Strait on the left side of your screen, alongside his good buddy Greg Watts. Both of these guys, no stranger to the podium in speed and style. Kyle Strait a second in Innsbruck. Greg Watts a second here last year.
Greg Watts also coming off a bronze medal down in Rotorua, our first stop of the Crankworx World Tour. Oh, that looked like a backflip bar spin. I'm not sure he got any more.
Yeah, it looked like a backflip bar spin for Kyle Strait as well. So this will be a drag race right here. Identical tricks on the first jump.
So Kyle Strait won some big slaloms back in the day. We know how fast he can be. He's had a disappointing Crankworx so far. He needs some redemption here.
Well, straight backflip for Kyle Strait right there. He was blocking Greg Watts from our camera view. I'm sure Greg threw it in a variation. We're going to have to consult the replay for that. But Kyle Strait threw the line first by 1.14. And we said it there on the first jump. Identical tricks, scoring them identical scores, 105. Greg Watts got a 105 for his trick on the bottom jump. That would hint at the fact that that was a backflip bar spin. So once we crunch the numbers, Kyle Strait still will be the leader, rewarded for some tricks and rewarded for crossing that finish line first.
And let's not forget, often one of these courses will be a little bit quicker than the other one, a little bit easier to navigate. So we are hearing rumors that it should be the riders right.
Next heat in the gate, we have Thomas Lemoine, your 2018 Crankworx Speed and Style World Champion. But 2019 season hasn't been exactly what he had hoped for. Starting out things difficult against Martin Soderstrom in Rotorua. Landing a little bit sideways there, blowing the air out of the back tire. That was it. He had to settle for a 4th place to kick off his season. Now moving things right over to the second stop, Innsbruck. More the same in terms of mistakes here for Thomas Lemoine. Check this out. Look at his handlebars. Backwards handlebars. He lands. Now this means that his brake is on the wrong side. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Brake on the left side, handlebars backwards. That's going to definitely change his head angle here. Roll the footage. But look, eyes on the prize here. not even wavering, trying to salvage whatever he could from this run against Kyle Straight. But it wasn't enough to advance out of that bracket. Kyle Straight went on to get second place in that event. Now Thomas Lemoine in the gate right now, looking to salvage this season with a win here. You saw me earlier pick him for the win. Just trying to give myself a gambling problem here and make up for my mistake from last night, choosing him for the win again. But he's gonna have to get past Cade Edwards.
Lightning fast, deadly with the tricks. I'd give Thomas Lemoine the edge slightly on the trick side.
Cade Edwards qualifying 14th out here for the event today. Thomas Lemoine with a respectable third place qualification result.
High on the other one's specialty, so they are racked up and ready to go. The young gun, Cade Edwards, World Cup rider. Thomas Lemoine.
Well, Cade Edwards, one of the most exciting young guns to throw a leg over a bike. He's coming off a whip-off win here earlier in the week. He has a big bag of tricks for a man that's campaigning on the World Cup circuit, Cam.
Cade Edwards, definitely one of my favorite riders in the mountain bike scene right now. You gotta be kidding. Racing World Cups, doing 360 double bar spins, a perfect candidate for cliff speed and style right here. But it's gonna be tough going up against your third place qualifier and your 2018 reigning world champion, Thomas Lemoine, because he's a guy who's very rarely making a mistake, and when he does, he still carries on. We saw that in Innsbruck when he landed with his bars backwards.
It's got to be a challenge for him. He's got big expectations being the reigning champ, and he just hasn't had the season he's needed yet.
All right, looks like we got the gate figured out here. Thomas Lemoine, left side of your screen. Cade Edwards on the right.
And there we go, the snap out of the gate so you can see Cade.
Pretty evenly matched here. See what Cade Edwards will throw down here. And there you have it. That's a double bar spin 360.
Oh, man, but Thomas Lemoine was able to better him one. He did a 360 with 2 bar spins. That's what Cade did. But Thomas Lemoine squeezed in an extra X up there.
Well, that is a big trick, though, from the youngster Cade Edwards. He now needs to put some distance in between him and Thomas Lemoine. Looks like a backflip. Couldn't see if he got any variation in there.
It looked like a straight backflip for Cade Edwards and a 360 bar spin to attempted X up there for Thomas Lemoine. Now, if you're Cade Edwards, you're going, I'm doing 360 double bar spins. This is going to be great. But Thomas Lemoine, being the expert strategist, knowing that, he goes, I'll do 360 with 2 bar spins and then add something. So 133 for Thomas Lemoine on the first jump, at 126 for Cade Edwards. Thomas Lemoine doubles down on that second jump by taking an advantage again. And Lemoine will be the leader going into their second round. Let's look back at some replays, Andrew.
Well, what do you think? We knew that Cade Edwards had some big tricks, but Thomas Lemoine, you know what? You want to put any more money on that bet of yours?
Yeah,
How do you think his riding is looking?
Pretty good about it. He's looking fast on this track. Now, I don't think that's the fast course that he's on right there, and he's able to still get through this run with an advantage on Cade Edwards, so I'm feeling pretty good. It's the big tricks that he's able to do at speed that's going to be the strength. I know Mitch is going to have a lot of speed, but I think he lacks in the variation department. He might have to dig a little bit deeper and start doing those front flips like we saw a few years ago.
Trying to like remind myself to compete.
Well, this rider on your screen right now, he was
I'm gonna ask each
an
rider,
unknown
like,
in Rotorua, where he won the speed and style. He had this to say. He still couldn't believe he got himself into Crankworx and got 2 podiums back-to-back on the first 2 days of the 2019 season. It was an insane day that he won't forget, and we haven't forgotten it either. He continues to surprise us. Now Billy Meeklum going up against Garrett Meacham. Garrett Meacham from the Aptos, California area, growing up at the post office jumps, doing great things for himself, getting a 3rd place in Innsbruck, but only one young gun could advance into the round of 8.
So the New Zealander, winner of round 1. Garrett Meacham, wow! Double bossman to X up, it looked like on the 360 there.
And Billy Meeklum with the suicide no-hander to late bar spin, so a technical combo that will score him high. I'm not sure if it'll be enough to better Garrett Meacham's trick, though.
These youngsters are keeping each other honest here, neck and neck into the bike park berms here. Backflip bar spin almost to a 1-foot can, it looked like it.
And a bar spin, a tuck no-hander for Billy Meeklum. Billy looks to cross the finish line first, but not by much, 0.19. It's crazy. That rider's left course looks fast all along until that final straightaway right there, where the rider's right side is able to kind of square off on the inside of that right-hand corner. So Garrett Meacham will be the leader here in this run, but it'll be a pretty tight gap, 0.75 when they get back up to the top.
That's exciting racing from two podium contenders here. And speaking of podium contenders, the championship contender, and he's got almost a sure lock. He's just got to make it through 1 or 2 rounds. And that is your man, Martin Soderstrom, on the left side of your screen.
Yeah, I would say somewhat shy of a sure lock there. He's got to get through Bas van Steenbergen. Then he'll have to get through the round of 8 and into the semifinals to mathematically secure himself that Crankworx Speed and Style World Championship. Let's see how it goes.
So Martin Soderstrom, coming from the slopestyle background, look for big tricks out of him. Bas van Steenbergen, he'll be focusing on speed, as you can see with those pedal strokes. Little toboggan from him.
Yeah, that's going to score high, the double tailwhip out of Martin Soderstrom.
So as you see, Bas van Steenbergen, he is out front by a margin already. He is all out speed racer background here. He's clipped in. Martin Soderstrom will be on flat pedals so that he can do all those tricks.
So Bas van Steenbergen, never a wizard in the trick department. So Martin Soderstrom's doing his best right now to stay close. 360 table for him. But this is a course that will reward a rider like Bas van Steenbergen because it's a little bit more difficult to trick there on that second jump. So through the line first was Bas. 2.08 was the differential. But Martin was scorching him on the tricks on both jumps. Double tail up top. 360 table down the bottom. I know it's going to help him, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to make Martin Soderstrom the leader. Let's see here. The tricks were big, but Bas van Steenbergen had close to nothing in tricks. So there it is, Martin Soderstrom across the line second, but able to redeem himself with those big tricks. He will be the leader going into their second run.
Well, there you have it. It's speed and style. Those were two contrasting strategies, and it paid off for Martin Soderstrom.
So this next heat, I definitely have my attention on. My little brother Tyler McCall on the left side of your screen right there. He has won here in Whistler in speed and style a few years ago. Sam Reynolds, 4th place in Innsbruck this season, 3rd place here last year. Here we go.
Yeah, Sam Reynolds was on the podium all of last year at all the rounds. Great bike handler. He's really come into his own. So 360 Bosman for him.
Corked out backflip knack for Tyler McCall.
So you would think pretty evenly matched there. Wow, a little bit wide there for Sam Reynolds, losing some time, losing some momentum. So Sam Reynolds on the hardtail. Tyler McCall opting for his slope dual suspension bike here. That might be better in some of the flat turns for Tyler McCall.
Oh, Tyler with the backflip barsman, almost throwing it away there. So Sam Reynolds will cross the finish line first by 0.72. Tyler and Sam both scoring 105s on the first jump. Sam scores in on the second jump, a 56. Now they're trying to figure out what to do with that backflip bar spin from Tyler McCall there. Blew a foot off. And sometimes, you know, in speed and style, if you have a bobble, it kind of polices itself because it slows you down. But he's still able to better Sam on that last jump, scoring a 95. So Sam Reynolds will still be the leader here, but the margin will be tight, 0.33 for these guys. Let's take a look back at some tidbits from this run. We're going to see close-up on the first jump here. Sam Reynolds being patient, waiting to throw the bars there. 360 bar spin, we call that a truck driver. And then nice corked out backflip knack. Giving a little nod to Jeremy McGrath, who's actually out here, I heard. Did you hear that?
He is. I've seen him. He's done some Maxxis poster signings.
Insane.
So cool to see the legend of Supercross out here paying some respect to the mountain bikers. And I mean, the talent we have here is just unbelievable. So it's great to see the likes of Jeremy McGrath here.
So Sam,
so there you have it. That was
wanted
clean for your brother, though.
Yeah, we're trying. It's such a pulled back view. We're trying to see if he got the bar spin. It looked like Sam Reynolds was trying to get a backflip no-hander and didn't get the hands off. So if both these guys get their variations clean in their next run, there's only 0.33 separating them. It could get interesting. All right, there's a look at your brackets right now.
Well, next up, we're going to see Mitch Ropolata against Tom van Steenbergen. They coming up next. Man, we've got some heavy hitters. Carl Strait against Greg Watts. And the guys in yellow, that means they're taking the advantage to the next heat.
There we go. One run in the books in Cliff's Speed and Style round of 16. We'll get them back up to the top of the course and drop them again after the break. Well, welcome back, Speed and Style fans of the world, and thanks for joining us here on Red Bull TV. We are right in the middle of things here, round of 16. In Cliff, Speed and Style, those names illuminated in yellow have the advantage going into run number 2. And a very exciting heat we have up here. Tom van Steenbergen, always an exciting rider, going up against a rider who has a lot of skin in the game right now. When we talk about the king of Crankworx overall, I'm talking about your #1 qualifier in today's race, Mitch Ropalato. He's leading out this bracket right now by a small margin, 0.7 ahead of Tom van Steenbergen, but he's also 13 points ahead of the second place rider in the king of Crankworx standings, Adrian Lerone. Mitch Ropalato just on a heater this week, winning events and deciding, hey, if I'm going to win this King of Crankworx thing, I'm going to have to get back into Speed and Style. It's exciting to see him back, and I know the King of Crankworx is the reason we're seeing him. Definitely a contender here, coming out and proving that by qualifying first. So, Tom van Steenbergen doing a front flip off the first jump in his first run here. We know Mitch Ropalato has the ability to do that. We saw him doing a flat spin 360 in run number 1.
Well, Mitch Ropalato has that little buff. He's got 0.7 to work with. What sort of strategy will he play in this run? So again, he's gone for the spin.
And again, Tom van Steenbergen goes for the front flip.
So Mitch Ropalato, we spoke about it. He's on clip pedal, so this is where he can make some ground on Tom van Steenbergen. But like you've said, he has a front flip. He has big tricks if he needs them. So that's going to be dangerous for everyone else come later on. Wow, only a little toboggan from what we can see from Mitch. So he's playing it safe.
720 for Tom van Steenbergen. This is going to be huge. Yeah, Tom van Steenbergen is crossing the finish line, 3.58 behind Mitch Ropalato. But we were breaking down that point structure for you earlier, and that Cork 720 is going to be heavy. That's going to be worth 140 points. So scoring 133. So the judges docking him a little bit for the rear tire landing. But will it be enough right here? Because Mitch is getting a -5. He'll actually have time added on because he didn't do a big enough trick. So this will be interesting. But Mitch has done it. He did enough, all things considered, with that advantage he had going into that second run. Mitch Ropalato rolls in to the round of 8. So here we go. Mitch Ropalato playing his cards right, playing it safe here with a flat spin 360. He's even able to see how big of a gap he has on Tom van Steenbergen when he's facing backwards.
But look at that textbook front flip in Tom van Steenbergen. Just was not enough though. Mitch Ropalato just outdid him on speed.
But look how fast he is in these flat corners. I'm excited to see him back in Speed and Style, and I want to take this opportunity to talk to him about it. Mitch, we got you on headset down there?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, dude. Hey, so you're always one of my favorite guys to watch in Speed and Style, and unfortunately, it's been a long time since we've seen you on the start list here. What inspired you to sign up today?
I just had to give it my all for this overall thing. This event, it's gnarly. It takes, you gotta be patient, and then you gotta be also aggro at the same time, and that's not my style. I'm aggro like 110% of the time.
Well, Mitch, that little thing you speak of, it's a $25,000 on the line. Is that playing in your head yet tonight? Are you going to try play it safe and just get a few points, or are you going for that win?
You know, I'm just going to do me and see how it turns out. It's you start thinking about the end result, you're already too far ahead of yourself.
If you're thinking you're losing, keep it aggro, Mitch. We love your style. Go get it, buddy.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate it.
Good stuff there. Always love seeing Mitch Ropalato in the field out here in Speed and Style. This is going to be a very entertaining evening we have on our hands here. Next heat, back up in the gate, we got Matt Jones. Talk about exciting people to have signing up. This is the first time that Matt Jones has signed up for a Speed and Style competition. Lacking points for Red Bull Joyride, but not lacking in skill and finesse. He can drop his hat in the ring for any of these disciplines and do well. But right now, Adrian Lerone leading it out 0.27 ahead of Matt Jones.
So the slimmest of margins, only 0.27. Matt Jones, can he pull out any bigger tricks in the first run? 360 barspin to table.
Yeah, and Adrian Lerone going for a 360, trying to get that table. We'll see what the judges do with that.
Looks like a bit more intensity from Matt Jones in this run on the speed. So that'll play into his favor, even throwing some style off the drop. Matt, you don't get any time deduction for that.
You might not want to do that next time.
So flip tuck for him.
360 for Adrian Laron with a little tag.
So he's got to get on the gas here. Matt Jones trying to, wow. This is going to be exciting because he did throw some good tricks.
Okay, so Adrian Laron through the line first, scoring a 95 on jump number 1, a 50 on jump number 2. Matt Jones bettering that with a 110 on jump number 1, 95 on jump number 2. It's going to be close. Remember that margin was small. It was about 0.7 seconds. But Adrian Laron winning both rounds. He will advance into the round of 8. Hoping we see Matt Jones back for some more speed and style next season. But I'm sure he'll be back in to the Crankworx FMBA Slopestyle World Championship Series if he plays his cards right. But so much skill and talent out of that young rider from the UK. Speaking of the UK, we got a big old Daryl Brown sign there. He's got plenty of fans out here. And one person who's not rooting for Daryl Brown would be that man right there, Luca Cometti, trying to learn more tricks for this speed and style run here. We saw him stepping outside of his comfort zone, doing front flips in practice. This is going to be a close one. Daryl Brown, a guy who was dominated a couple years ago on this speed and style circuit. Only 0.03 of a second ahead of Luca Cometti.
Exciting rider to watch, Daryl Brown. Often riding a little bit above his comfort zone, but that makes for great racing and he can get some great results. Wow, 360 double bar spin for him.
And a straight backflip for Luca Cometti. That's not going to score that high, so we better be going quick. 0.03 of a second separating these guys.
So Daryl Brown is deceptively quick in those flat turns and these berms. For a guy that's known as a dirt jumper, slopestyler type rider, he's really fast in turns. So another flip tuck there from Daryl.
Suicide no-hander for Luca Cometti. Luca will cross the line first by 0.77. But the big tricks of Daryl Brown, scoring 126 on jump number 1, a 100 on jump number 2. Doubling the points of Luca Cometti on the first jump and even more on the second jump. So you got to think Daryl Brown is going to be looking pretty good coming out of this thing. Daryl Brown will advance, sending Luca Cometti to the showers. But Luca Cometti improving his game here in speed and style. Hopefully see him back next season. Back up to the top. Guys who have been in the gate alongside each other plenty of times in the past. Kyle Straight going up against Greg Watts. Greg Watts had a second place here in this event last year. Kyle Straight a second place at our last event this season in Innsbruck. Greg Watts starting the season with a bronze medal at stop number 1. But only one rider will make it in to the next round here, the round of 8. Kyle Straight leading by 0.65 ahead of Greg Watts.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So Kyle Straight, one of the veterans of our sport. Greg Watts, no stranger as well to the Crankworx podium. Oh, no, big mistake from Kyle Straight. I was going to say he's had a few mistakes at some of our rounds, especially when he goes upside down, Cam.
Man, I love to see him doing those backflip bar spins because that's a big combo. Kyle has a slopestyle background, but you don't see him doing those big combos that often unless the pressure's on in these speed and style races. Greg Watts, a guy who does backflip bar spins for breakfast, able to skate through this round right now because of that mistake from Kyle Straight. Now that's a bummer to see. I wanted to see them really duke it out and both cross the finish line.
Yeah, you never want to see a rider go down. Greg Watts, he wants an honest, fair race here. Looks like Kyle Straight is all right. He's making a little bit of a habit for himself, missing some of those tricks when he goes upside down here at the speed and style events.
Now, Kyle Straight could almost be dominant in this if he just woke up every morning and just did 20 backflip bar spins. Got them on repetition muscle memory. Too many times we've seen him mess up that trick, but it scores so well for him when he's able to stomp it. Now Greg Watts able to advance out of that round of 16. He'll be meeting up with Daryl Brown in the round of 8. Mitch Ropalato will be meeting up with Adrian Laron as we focus our attention into the heat we have loaded up in the gate right now. Now you might know Thomas Lemoine as a slopestyle athlete, but take a look at a little bit of his background. He says he was racing way before he learned tricks. That's why he's so fast in these events. Took him a while to learn flips, but racing gave him the bike skills that allowed him to learn all these tricks that put him on the podium at Crankworx slopestyle events. And that's why he's leading the King of Crankworx right now, that diverse skill set. He's also leading this run right now against a rider who also has a diverse skill set, the World Cup racer, Cade Edwards.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
So will the youngster throw caution to the wind here? What is Cade Edwards going to do against Thomas Lemoine? Lemoine. Wow, double
Cade.
truck driver there.
Cade Edwards with a double truck driver of his own, almost hanging out that rotation.
So we're into the speed factor of this course. Cade Edwards, racing World Cups, having some good results already. But we know how much time he spends on the dirt jump bike. So 360 bar spin to X up at look for Thomas Lemoine.
And only a suicide no-hander there for Cade Edwards. That is going to hurt him. Thomas Lemoine through the line. 0.77 ahead of Cade Edwards. Let's look at the tricks. Identical on run number 1, 126. Thomas Lemoine was able to score another 126 on jump number 2. That's going to help a lot. Only a 21 for that suicide no-hander out of Cade Edwards. You got to think Thomas Lemoine will be advancing out of this round, and he does. Thomas Lemoine into the round of 8. Let's throw it down to Makayla Gatto for a word with him.
All right, so the first 2 stops of the Crankworx World Tour, you were super unlucky at this event. How hungry are you for some redemption today?
I'm trying not to be angry. I'm trying to be focused and make it to the end.
Well, you just advanced in the next round, so that's 1 step forward, and hopefully we'll see you up on that podium.
Yeah, thank you.
Thomas Lemoine looking good. We'll see if my 1 guarantee will pay off today. Looking pretty good so far. The kicker will be able to trick that last jump. That's what's really going to be the kicker. The riders who are able to get big combos on that second jump are going to be the ones who do well out here today. You see a lot of the riders who don't have as much slopestyle experience as Thomas Lemoine, guys like Cade Edwards doing small tricks like that suicide no-hander, barely getting any points. That's why I think Thomas Lemoine is going to do well out here today.
Yeah, I like your pick there. I think he's got a lot of experience. He knows what tricks to throw against what riders, depending if he needs speed or huge tricks.
So Thomas Lemoine was my guarantee prediction earlier on, but I feel like we got another guarantee. In this bracket, we're going to mess up these names at some point. Garrett Meacham going up against Billy Meeklum, 2 riders who rose to stardom just this season. Billy Meeklum, 0.75 behind Garrett Meacham.
And it's not that we don't know who these riders are. These riders have rocketed onto the podiums here at Crankworx. Billy Meeklum, winner at round 1, suicide to bar spin.
It looked like a 360 bar spin to X up there for Garrett Meacham.
So Billy, still riding high on confidence after winning in March in Rotorua. I mean, what a win it was. But Gary Meacham, I mean, he's your buddy down from Aptos. He's got himself on a podium as well.
There we go. Bigger combo there out of Garrett Meacham. Looked like a backflip bar spin, a 1-footed cancan. That's going to score high, but Billy Meeklum will cross the finish line first by only 0.02 of a second. Is that right? Come on. That was such tight racing. A 126 for Garrett Meacham being rewarded on that first jump, a 105 on the second jump. He's going to be able to clean up that 0.02 of a second deficit right there. And with all things considered, we're waiting on who's going to advance into the round of 8. Yeah, had a feeling it was going to be Garrett Meacham there. He had the advantage going into run number 2 there. Garrett Meacham, let's see if he can repeat on that great performance from Innsbruck where he took away the bronze medal. Now eliminating the winner from stop number 1, Garrett. There it was, Billy Meeklum. There, I told you we were going to mess it up. There
it was safe money.
That was our last chance to do it. Yeah. Here he is, Martin Soderstrom, the guy who needs to advance out of this round and the next to secure the Crankworx Speed and Style World Championship. He's riding this pink bike. He told us about it earlier. Yeah, the jury's out. Is it pink? Is it purple?
Yeah, he's claiming pink, but it's pretty sparkly purple to me.
He's got that dual suspension bike, RockShox Pike up there in the front. It looks like he's running a bigger tire than we normally see from him on the front. We heard him talking about that earlier on when we were interviewing him. because of this course, a little bit more technical with those flat corners. He put a bigger knobby up on front. Slopestyle type seat there for pinching with the knees for those bar spin variations. Single speed, which is tough for racing. You're not able to shift and be in the ideal gear out of the gate and be able to upshift later on in the course. Doesn't seem to be hurting him much, but going up against a guy like Bas van Steenbergen, who you know is rapid fire shifting through those gears, this will be an interesting matchup here. Big tricks coming from Martin Soderstrom and little tricks coming from Bas van Steenbergen, but a whole lot of speed. Right now, Martin Soderstrom was able to use those tricks to be the leader by 0.33 over Bas.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
So polar opposite strategy. Bas van Steenbergen, he's hot out the gate. He's got one thing in mind, and that is speed. Martin Soderstrom, he's got to focus on speed and these big tricks. Double tail whip for him.
Yeah, and Bas van Steenbergen will definitely get time added for not doing a trick on that first jump. So even though Bas van Steenbergen's ahead, I got to say Martin Soderstrom is mathematically leading this race right now.
Well, you don't become one of the best slopestyles in the world without bike skills. Martin Soderstrom looks like the 360 table for him.
And a toboggan for Bas van Steenbergen, so he might have less time added on for that toboggan. So they're scoring him 0, so letting him break even on the 2 jumps on the course. Martin Soderstrom scoring a big 126 up top, a big 105 down at the bottom. And this will be a no-brainer right here. Martin Soderstrom advancing into the round of 8.
So yeah, this is speed and style. So we do want to see someone that's throwing some tricks, normally them to advance. Martin Soderstrom, he's got both.
Now just for our viewers out there, bear in mind that if Martin Soderstrom was not close to Bas van Steenbergen, those tricks wouldn't have mattered. You got to be fast and hang tight enough, play that defense, but focus on your strengths. And right now, both these riders focusing on the goal. Hey, there's my daughter, Chloe! And Tyler's fiance, Skylar, watching, cheering him on, hoping he's able to get out of this round. Now, these guys are close. 0.33 separating Sam Reynolds and Tyler McCall. Sam Reynolds with the advantage.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So what can your brother do here? Tyler McCall, he's got some big tricks as well. Oh, looked like the backflip knack for him.
Yeah, and Sam Reynolds going for that 360 bar spin combo. There we go, foot out there for Tyler McCall. Now 0.33 separating these two guys.
McCall, he has moved to Utah, but before that, I mean, he was building slalom courses in the woods of Aptos, so we know how fast he can be.
There we go, into this jump here.
Oh, and no, a straight air for Tyler McCall. That is going to hurt his chances so much. He must know.
Wow.
That oh, man.
So Tyler McCall through the line first there, but that is going to hurt him not tricking that jump. They've already calced out the scores, it looks like. Yeah, great run from both of these guys, but Sam Reynolds advancing into the finals. Yeah, missing the trick on that second jump is really going to hurt all these riders out here. That's going to be the X factor, the riders who are able to not only trick that second jump, but get a good combo on it. And if you can pair that with being matched up against a rider who straight airs it, that's the key to success in this race.
Well, we're going to see Mitch Ropolata. He's against Adrian Laron. And we just saw Sam Reynolds. He's advances. He's going to see Martin Soderstrom later on in the evening.
So there's our round of 8 set in the books here. This is going to be a good one. Great competition between all these riders. Can't wait to see these next heats. Good matchups coming up in your Cliff Speed and Style round of 8 coming up next. in our Cliff Speed and Style Day 3 of broadcast coverage at the final stop of the 2019 Crankworx World Tour. And where are we? The same place this all started, the same place we finish off every whopper of a season here on the Crankworx World Tour. Yeah, we're in North America, America's hat, Canada, the beautiful country, and that beautiful province of Whistler, British Columbia on the West Coast. We love this place, famous for birthing the sport of slopestyle and all the best riders in the world. Come back here every year to finish off the Crankworx FMBA Slopestyle World Championship season, an event called Red Bull Joyride. Now, if you still haven't got your VIP tickets for Red Bull Joyride, it's not too late. If you want your center ice, 50-yard line viewpoint of the best show on two wheels, go to crankworx.com/VIP to book your tickets. That's coming up tomorrow. We're already there. 4:30 p.m. local time is when Red Bull Joyride will be kicking off. I got goosebumps already. And these brackets right here are goosebump worthy as well. Top speed and style athletes in the world. This is what it looks like.
They are finals worthy. We're going to see Mitch Ropalato against Adrian Laurent. But look, Darrell Brown, Greg Watts, Thomas Lemoine, any of these matchups could be finals.
And the first heat we'll see is going to be between Mitch Ropalato and Adrian Laurent. The Frenchman versus the American, your #1 qualifier, going up against a former king of Crankworx here, Adrian Laurent.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Neck and neck for these two. Man, they are going to be evenly matched in speed here. So, normal 360 for Adrian.
And a normal 360 for Mitch Ropalato.
This is going to be tight racing, Cam. We know how fast both these riders are. Mitch Ropalato hard on the pedals. It looked like he was a bit sluggish out of that turn.
The big question, which one of these racers will trick the
Wow.
last jump? Whoa!
That is commitment from Mitch Ropalato. He said he was going to go hard.
Yes, both of them 360.
So this is going to come down to speed pretty much, Cam. Mitch Ropalato with the edge.
Nice riding from both of these riders coming from their race backgrounds, but not afraid to chuck 360s when it counts here. Mitch Ropalato through the line, 0.31 ahead of Adrian Laurent. Laurent scoring higher than Mitch on that first jump and the second jump. So Adrian Laurent will be the leader by a tight margin of 0.18. Now, why are these guys racing so hard against each other? Well, here's the main reason. They are competitors running neck and neck in the war. This is merely one battle in the grand scheme of things here on the Crankworx World Tour when it comes to the king of Crankworx overall. And we talked about it earlier, $25,000 accompany that crown when you take the title. Mitch Ropalato is only 13 points ahead of Adrian Laurent. The fact that we have them in a gate side by side, this is great.
This is huge. This is literally how storylines are made. Mitch Ropalato, he has the lead, but he does not have the lead in their first heat.
Well, whoever makes it out of this round of 8 between those two will be leading the King of Crankworx overall title when they go to sleep tonight. Darrell Brown loaded up in the gate here for our next heat against Greg Watts.
Okay, riders.
Now two riders with big 360 combos, but a lot of backflips on this course today. Let's see what Greg Watts is going to pull out.
Well, it's safe money. I think we're going to see some sort of backflip bar spin variation here. He's so clean with it. We got only one there. I expected to see more out of him.
Yeah, well, Darrell Brown got more. He got that 360 double bar spin. He's going to score higher on that first jump.
So Greg Watts, Darrell Brown, these guys have stood on the Speed and Style podium a few times each.
Into the great equalizer this last jump, Andrew.
So there we go. There was the double backflip bar spin for Greg.
Backflip double bar spin for Greg, and it looked like 360 no-hander for Darrell Brown. I was staring at Greg, wondering how many bar spins he was going to get.
I don't blame you, man. I mean, what was he doing in Innsbruck? I think he was doing 3, if not 4.
And
Or was
he's
bar spin to bar spin back to bar spin.
Yeah, and then he'll do suis to bar spin. So Darrell Brown, 0.6 behind Greg Watts. Darrell Brown getting a better trick on jump #1 with a 126 to Greg's 105. Darrell Brown scoring a 98, but Greg Watts bettering that with a 112 down there on the final jump. So Greg Watts will be the leader going into their run 2.
Well, Darrell Brown's got his work cut out for him. 0.5 back. He's got his fans on the side of that sign.
Oh yeah, look who we got in the gate next. The world champion from last season. You saw earlier on, we took a trip down memory lane. Tough season so far in speed and style for Thomas Lemoine, but still way up there in the King of Crankworx rankings, and he'll be doing Joyride tomorrow. But right now, Garrett Meacham squaring off against the 2018 world champ.
Yeah, you never would have thought that his best result would have only been a 4th to date. So Thomas Lemoine looking to jump back on the podium here. Garrett with a looked like double bar spin to bar spin back. That was a big trick for Garrett.
And Lemoine with a 360 double bar spin to X up again.
Also, Garrett really pulling out the stops here when it counts. The youngster from America against the Frenchman, Thomas Lemoine. There was a lot of things going on, but I couldn't quite see what he was doing upside down there.
Lemoine getting that truck driver. It looked like Garrett Meacham had the backflip bar spin. Did he get a one-footed can in there as well?
It looked like the foot came off, so this is going to be interesting for the judges. So they've already crunched his, so they were pretty confident with what he did.
Question, Thomas Lemoine's 360 bar spin. It looked like he was trying to get an X up in there as well. What will the judges score that? Now Lemoine through the finish line behind Garrett Meacham by about a quarter of a second. A 110 for his trick down on the bottom, so this will be close. Garrett Meacham is going to be absolutely having the advantage here, crossing the finish line first and having a better trick. See, I'm getting worried right here. 2 nights in a row, this can't happen to me where I picked Thomas Lemoine for the win. But, I mean, if somebody's gonna eliminate Thomas Lemoine, the kid who came from the same town that I came to, I watched him grow up from a tiny little dirt jump grom to a guy who's on the podium earlier this season in speed and style. That'd be pretty cool.
He's coming into his own here. He's really booming with confidence. Thomas Lemoine, you're putting the commentator's curse on him right now. You really need to back off on that bet. Let the guy do his business here.
I'm sorry, Thomas Lemoine. I'm sorry. But I'm very happy for the performance out of Garrett Meacham right there. There's a look at our brackets. Those names in yellow have the advantage going into their second run. But I'm really excited about what we have in the gate right now. All the pressure on Martin Soderstrom. He needs to advance out of this round of 8 to secure the Crankworx Speed and Style World Championship. But Sam Reynolds, a guy that Martin would compete against in their slopestyle days, and for the past few years, they've been competing against each other in speed and style, sharing podiums on numerous occasions. This will be a good one. We got a lot of Martin Soderstrom fans out here, and we were talking about it earlier. We think it was all the way back in 2013 since Martin has won an event here in Whistler. He's won events at our other venues, but the crowd absolutely loving the big suite out here in Whistler.
So Great Britain versus Sweden here. Sam Reynolds out hot in here. So he goes for the 360 bar spin.
Martin Soderstrom pushing through on that step up, staying low, carrying speed with that double tail whip.
So Sam Reynolds on the hardtail. It'll be tough for him to maintain traction in those flat turns. Martin Soderstrom, he's on a little dual suspension slope bike. Potentially going to help him with traction there. So the backflip tuck behind for Sam Reynolds.
That is exactly what Martin Soderstrom needed to do right there. A 360 tail up. That will be a huge score on jump number 2 for Martin Soderstrom.
So your number 7 qualifier against your number 2 qualifier, Sam Reynolds. So on paper, Sam Reynolds should have his number here, but let's see what the judges say.
A pair of 126s, calculating that out to 1.26 times 2 taken off of Martin's time, but still not enough to better the combined score of Sam Reynolds, but 0.07 of a second is all they'll be fighting for once we get them back up to the top of the course. That's going to be ridiculous. That is so close. Even doing the 360 tail up on the final jump wasn't enough to get the advantage over Sam Reynolds there.
Yeah, so Mitch Ropolato against Adrian on, that is huge. That is for the King of Crankworx lead. Whoever advances will have a big advantage going into the final event for them on Sunday.
So, to remind you of how we got here in this very interesting predicament of Mitch Ropolato against Adrian Lerone, your top 2 in the King of Crankworx overall. Let's take a look at run number 1. Laying into that 360 there, Adrian Lerone. Now, he tables it out just a touch. Not saying it's the best table in the world, but Mitch Ropalato just going for a straight 360. So they're going to give Adrian Lerone a little bit more points for that 360 table. It's the effort that counts out here, especially when you're so tight in the racing. Come on, okay, I'm sorry. We got to back that up. I want to see that roost on this turn. Watch this. Look at this roost. Are you kidding me? That's mountain biking out there, folks.
That's incredible, Mitch Ropalato, but he would have lost some speed there. As spectacular as it was for us, for him, he's going to lose some speed burping that tire. I mean, that is as high up you can go on a berm without throwing that wheel out the top.
Yes, very true. If I were to talk to Mitch Ropalato right now, I'd say, all right, try to do just a little bit of a tweak in those 360s because you guys are so close in racing. That little variation would be a huge difference. Only 0.18 separating these guys. Here we go. Only one can survive. 1 and 2 in the King of Crankworx overall. Here we go.
So this is huge. King of Crankworx title on the line here. Mitch Ropalato, he needs to clean this 360 up. That's good from Mitch Ropalato.
Wow.
And he's landed on the gas.
So Mitch is going to have to go real fast here because he did that straight 3 again. Adrian Lerone squeaked out that little tiny table.
So Mitch Ropalato, he is leading out the speed factor here. Clean through the berm, so no burping of a tire there. Another 360 for him. Little bit of a case, but he's hard on the pedals.
Wow, Mitch doing what he needs to do. He needs to cross the finish line with a big advantage here. All right,
wow,
1.1.
That is good from Mitch. Mitch Ropalato throwing down a huge run when it really counted here.
So Adrian Lerone scoring higher on both jumps. We expected that because he's sneaking in a little table there. But will it be enough? Mitch Ropalato advances, being rewarded for pinning it and crossing that finish line first. Great sportsmanship out of these two top riders here on the King of Crankworx overall. Mitch Ropalato will undoubtedly collect more points in this event for the King of Crankworx than Adrian Lerone. But the week is far from over.
Well, surprise, surprise, Cam McCall. Mitch Ropalato, my #1 seed, my surprise pick. I think he's through to the next round.
Fingers crossed for Thomas Lemoine. Fingers crossed. But it's all about Greg Watts going up against Daryl Brown right now. Greg Watts was able to better Daryl Brown by about a half of a second here. Daryl Brown, a guy who has won the overall in this in years past. Greg Watts, who's already been on the podium this season. Here we go.
Daryl Brown's got the work cut out for him. Now, Greg Watts didn't get as many bar spins the first time round. Daryl Brown. So 360 double bar spin for him.
Just a backflip bar spin for Greg Watts. It looks like he's just running out of air time because there's so much step up on that first jump.
Yeah, I was going to say, it just seems like he's not confident on spinning any more bars there. Okay, now Daryl Brown, he needs to get going on the speed factor here because he's getting pretty evenly matched on scoring. So tuck, flip, no-hander for him.
Looks like a backflip bar spin again there for Greg Watts. Okay, Daryl Brown through the line first by 0.15. Okay, this will be interesting. A 105 for Greg Watts on that first jump, but Daryl Brown getting rewarded for that 360 double bar spin. 126 for him on the first jump. Now 98 for Daryl on the second jump. Greg's only scoring a 70. What will the story be? Daryl Brown advancing. Look at that. Daryl Brown back on the scene here. He was pretty dominant a couple seasons ago, returning to form here in Whistler.
Yeah, Daryl Brown coming off some injuries. He's regaining some of that confidence, some of that speed that he had. So that was a clinical double truck driver there for Daryl Brown. Yeah, Greg Watts just not confident spinning his bars there. Normally would have at least seen a double bar spin from him on these jumps. So flip tuck for Daryl Brown there. That was enough.
Oh, it was a backflip X-up for Greg Watts right there. That's why he didn't score that high. It just goes to show if a guy like Greg Watts is struggling to get his huge combos on the final jump, it means it's a difficult jump to trick. Now, Daryl Brown, sounds like we got you on headset. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Right on, Daryl. So, when you won your first speed and style race, I think it was back in Leger or Les Deux Alpes, it was in France a while ago. It was a muddy race, and we always kind of see you triumph on these tracks that the riders are kind of saying is a more difficult track. Do you feel like that's your strength here in dual speed and style?
I mean, I think everyone's having a hard time on the course today. I mean, it's like 35 seconds long, so it's a long course, but I'm doing my best. I broke my back in January, and this is my first event back, so I'm stoked to be in the mix and enjoying it. So not putting too much pressure on myself, and hopefully I can keep on advancing.
So you're talking about not putting pressure on yourself. Well, when you're beating someone like Greg Watts, are you not thinking about how far you can go tonight?
You can't think about that. You know about that, Needles, you know. You're not thinking about winning races, you're thinking about one step at a time. So taking it step by step and, you know, just hoping for the best and enjoying myself.
Great to see you back, Daryl. I didn't realize you broke your back, so it's amazing to not only see you out here, but working your way through these brackets, eliminating big names like Greg Watts. So keep the momentum rolling, dude. We're rooting for you.
Yeah, well, thanks for the kind words.
All right, thanks, Daryl. Get back up there. Plenty of fans out there for Daryl Brown, and for good reason. The comeback story, breaking his back. I mean, just to be here is impressive. Now, speaking about comebacks, we're gonna need a comeback right now. If you look back at what happened in run number 1, Garrett Meacham just laying down the hammer there, 360 bar spin to X up. Now Thomas Lemoine, a bigger trick there with the 360 double bar spin to X up, but Garrett Meacham is just flying on this course today.
Not even running a front brake, so that's interesting that he's getting through those flat turns so quick. Your boy is really about to upset a big name here if he can just keep it clean and throw those big tricks again.
So Garrett riding fast and not seeming to be bothered by the difficulty of that second jump, throwing big combos like that backflip bar spin, a one-footed can-can. Now, if my pick, Thomas Lemoine, is going to get out of this round, he's going to have a bigger trick than Garrett on that second jump.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
So both riders not even opting for a front brake here. They're on their slopestyle bikes. So Thomas Lemoine, double bar spin to X up from that. It's a big trick.
And a 360 bar spin to X up from Garrett.
So, losing traction there from Thomas Lemoine. He's going to lose a little bit of momentum.
Garrett's so fast through those flat corners.
So into the berms here. Clean from both riders. This is the tricky jump. Looked like 360 bar spin again, if not a double.
Meacham getting that backflip bar spin to one-footed can, so that has been scoring higher than Lemoine's trick, and they are so close. Garrett through the line first by 0.02 of a second. He had the advantage going into this round. What will the scores be? Thomas Lemoine bettering Garrett by a hair on jump number 1. Lemoine scoring a 126 on jump number 2. How will Garrett Meacham's backflip bar spin to one-footed can score? Now let's take a look back at this final jump here. Thomas Lemoine, 360 bar spin, 2X up. Oh, it's a 360 double bar spin, so that's gonna be huge. That's probably gonna score higher than this backflip bar spin to one-footed can for Garrett Meacham. But Garrett was able to cross the finish line first. He's so fast in that final straightaway. Yeah. This one will come down to math. Only 0.02 of a second separating these guys.
Evenly matched on the second jump there.
Thomas Lemoine advances, knocking out the young gun Garrett Meacham. So as bummed as I am to see my hometown boy Garrett Meacham hit the showers, I got my pick moving into the next round.
So experience over youth there. Thomas Lemoine doing just enough to edge out Garrett, but great riding from him.
Wow, Lemoine staying alive here. But we talked about it a little bit earlier. Martin Soderstrom, he's won a lot of events in his career, but the last time he won an event here in Whistler was 2013 in speed and style. Now, coincidentally, the same year that he broke his leg so bad, and it took a long time before we saw him back on the top step of the podium. It happened in New Zealand a couple years ago. Can he get back up on top here in Whistler after a 6-year break from that top step?
Well, the likable Swede, if he can advance, it should see him take this title tonight. That would be great for him. He really has an up and down career here at Whistler. Some bittersweet results.
So very evenly matched here. Just 0.07 of a second separating these guys. Sam Reynolds has the lead.
So the double tail from Monstrum, that was clean. So it's going to come down to this matchup right here, this heat.
360 bar spin for Sam Reynolds.
Well, both riders neck and neck in the speed here. You cannot lose focus of your own race, even though you're right next to your competitor. Wow, 360 tail whip, but he drops a foot.
Sam Reynolds backs up Tuck no-hander to flat, blowing out the air in his back tire, but he still crosses the finish line.
Well, give him some extra points for that, managing to steer that bicycle through the finish line.
That's similar to seeing Thomas Lemoine in Innsbruck landing with his bars backwards and still finishing the run. No air in the back tire of Sam Reynolds. Big tricks for both of these guys. 126s and 124s for Martin Soderstrom. Bettering the tricks of Sam Reynolds on both jumps and crossing the finish line first. Take a look back at a slow-mo replay from jump number 1. Now Martin Soderstrom's able to push through that jump while still doing a very high-scoring trick, bringing down 126s for those double tail-ups. That is a great choice because not only is it a high-scoring trick, but it's a trick you can do at speed on that step-up.
Yeah, great strategy from him. He's doing big tricks, but he's able to do them at speed and kind of gain momentum from them.
Oh man, the 360 tail-up straight to pedals from Martin. Now we know from experience he's got even more to add to that. Oh, blowing a foot, Martin did.
And then blowing a tire, speaking of blowing things. Wow, Sam Reynolds.
How about that?
Unlucky for him, just going a little bit deep, landing back heavy there, and boom, blowout from him, but he still got to the finish.
I like how right after blowing out the back tire, the next feature is a berm that he completely charged, even with no air. All right, Martin Soderstrom advancing into the next round. Let's get Makayla Gatto on the case.
Get the helmet first.
Exactly. Oh my God.
All right, well, you're still breathing hard. Round 1, you were up against Bass. He put you to exercise a little bit. Round 2, Sam Reynolds, we also know he has a lot of speed. What I want to know is, do you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to go faster and keep my tricks the same, or do you adjust the tricks and try and do something more difficult?
Yeah, Bass was flying, so in that one I really tried to just do like decent tricks, but try to stay fast. And then with Reynolds, I know he's my old slopestyle buddy, so I know he have big tricks. So for that one, I pulled out the 3-whip. And yeah, I think it was pretty lucky for me that he got a puncture because he was so fast and really, really good.
Would you say you'd rather blow a foot or blow a tire?
Oh, pest eller kolera, are we saying in Sweden? I don't know, but like bad or super bad, I don't know.
Well, congratulations on going to the next round.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, Martin Soderstrom. Can he win again here in Whistler? It's been 6 years since he last did it, and it was in speed and style. We know he has what it takes. Now Martin Soderstrom will be duking up against Thomas Lemoine. What a matchup that'll be. Mitch Ropalato and Daryl Brown. Will Mitch Ropalato be able to keep the good times rolling here in Whistler after already winning and taking home lots of hardware this week, catapulting himself to the top of the King of Crankworx overall? He would love as many points as he could get here in Cliff Speed and Style. Stick around to see what finds out. Never been heard by her ears
You've
yet.
got to do it, man.
gotta do it,
It's bicycle.
It's Friday here at stop number 3 of the Crankworx World Tour. What does that mean? Well, simply, it means that tomorrow is Saturday. But what does Saturday mean at Crankworx Whistler? That means the Super Bowl of slopestyle, Red Bull Joyride. We're looking at the course right now. A revamped course design finishing off with that whale tail. We got another drop added to mid-course. And tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. local time, we will be kicking things off. Will Brett Reeder be able to win the Triple Crown? We saw Nikolai Rogatkin do it last season. Let's check in with how Brett Reeder is doing rolling into tomorrow's big day.
Brett Reeder here. We're at Crankworx Whistler, standing on the Red Bull Joyride course. We've just finished first practice and the course is running super good. It's cool to see how much Cliff Bar is supporting the sport of mountain biking. They signed me on a handful of years ago, and ever since then, just putting more into the contests. They have good intentions and they make a good energy product that not only top-level athletes can benefit, but everyone can. My goals going into finals is just to do a run that I know I'm going to be happy with. And hopefully that includes some new tricks, but if not, then hopefully it'll just be a solid run from top to bottom.
Oh, nice little taste of what we can expect tomorrow. Less than 24 hours away until Red Bull Joyride. We see Brett Reeder's already taking off backwards on some of those flat features. Can't wait to see what new secrets he'll be adding to the mix out there. You know he's been training hard. That's tomorrow, but today it's all about Cliff, speed, and style. Mitch Ropolato in the gate right now, lined up against Daryl Brown in our semifinals, first heat. Semifinals, AKA the round of 4. The winner of this bracket will be moving on to the gold medal round. The losers will be still up for a bronze medal consolation prize, but Mitch Ropolato, Daryl Brown on course.
Oh, big mistake from Daryl Brown there. Something happened there, so he's lost a bit of ground. So 360 double bar swing from him.
A 360 for Mitch Ropolato.
So your number 1 qualified, Mitch Ropolato, he's out front here. Daryl Brown qualified in 5th position. Mitch Ropolato has done a lot of his hard work for the King of Crankworx title. He's knocked out Adrian Laurent, but he's got his eyes set on another gold medal here.
Another 360 there for Mitch.
And a flip tuck for Daryl Brown, but he's lost ground up top, and it's going to be tough for him to make it up.
Well, Mitch Ropolato, the winner of the slalom race just a few nights ago, putting a 1.51 on Daryl Brown. Some tricks of his own there, 50 and a 56 for those 360s, but 126 and a 98 for Daryl Brown. Not enough considering how far ahead Mitch was in the race. Mitch will carry that advantage over into their second run. Now, we keep talking about this King of Crankworx overall standings. Before today's event, Mitch Ropolato, 13 points ahead of Adrian Laurent. Mitch actually was the guy to eliminate Adrian Laurent from contention for the win out here in Cliff Speed and Style. So he'll definitely be taking more points to add to his name for King. But the question is, how many points? Now, Thomas Lemoine kicking his season off to a rough start, but never losing focus out here. Sometimes losing control, but never losing composure. Let's take a look back at Innsbruck earlier on. Now, we've been talking about this so much because it was so entertaining. 360 bar spin to bar spin going up against Kyle Straight. Now, only half of the bars turned on the second bar spin there for Thomas Lemoine, meaning he had to land with his handlebars backwards. That does a couple things. It puts your bar bend very strange angle, puts your brake on the wrong side, and it changes the head angle of your bike. It didn't seem to harm him very much, but he wasn't able to get a medal there. He had to settle for 4th place. We talked to Thomas Lemoine, and he had this to say. Take a look.
As I'm a competitor since super young, I was like racing BMX at the age of 5. My dad always told me to never quit, even if I was like in a bad situation or something, or feeling that it's not gonna work. So I was like, I did a mistake for sure. I had my bar in the hands. I didn't crash, so I was like, right now I just have to go for it and see. I tried not to crash. It was kind of hard to ride, but I even did a backflip to save some points, like to try. It was just like at that time right now, I was like, I won qualies, so I just couldn't just stop and let him go. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it, and it was pretty weird though. But it is how it is, I guess. Like your bar is the wrong way, but you're in a race, so try your best and you'll see. It didn't work, but it's a good memory, and I know why I missed it now. So maybe I'll do better this time.
Yeah, love it. It's those kind of impulses that give you enough points to be at the top of the King of Crankworx leaderboard at the last stop of the season. Always full of surprises. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. He'll be competing in slopestyle, looking for more points But right now, he wants to move into the finals. But so does Martin Soderstrom. He would love to repeat on the win he had here in Whistler in 2013. He would love to continue the party rolling after the win at our last stop on this season in Innsbruck.
Seems like the momentum is on Soderstrom's side. He managed to knock out Sam Reynolds, who was your number 2 seed here. He's up against the defending champion of speed and style, and he is your current leader of this year's series.
So a blank slate for these two riders here in this semifinal bracket. This is run number 1, so no deficit to speak of at the moment. But man, are we ever icing them in the gate.
Yeah, as if this sport isn't nerve-wracking enough, they are racked and ready.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Oh, great start for both of these riders.
So Martin Soderstrom, he's done the double tail whip all his runs on this first jump. He gets it again, he gets it clean.
Oh, how is Thomas Lemoine squeezing that X up after the 360 with 2 bar spins? It is so worthwhile to do that because look at this, they're neck and neck.
So the man from Sweden on that electric pink bike, his riding is electric tonight. The man on 4, Martin Soderstrom. Wow, he goes for it, the 360 tail whip.
Yes, the 360 bar spin for Thomas Lemoine. And no pedaling on that final straightaway for Lemoine, yet he crosses the finish line first by 0.12 ahead of Martin Soderstrom. Now, Lemoine scoring a 133 for that 360 double bar spin at X up, a 126 for that truck driver. And Martin Soderstrom, look at these guys. This is a long course. We heard the riders talking about the fact that it's about a 35-second long run, which is long when you figure you're sprinting and tricking the entire time down. Lemoine doing what he needs to do to lead out this bracket. 0.19 is all that separates these two riders going into their second run. Now let's savor this run a little bit by going back and watching it in slow motion. Great start for both of these riders. I love the aggression out of Martin Soderstrom out of his gate starts. But you see, he pushes through, enabling himself to stay low but still get that trick. But count him, 1 bar spin, 2 bar spins. Yeah, he's only 2 feet off the ground, but he's squeezing in an X up. And that's how he's able to get more points than the 126 you know Martin's been getting for that double tail whip. Now into this last jump, Martin Soderstrom, if he keeps doing this 360 tail up, he's going to be having a great night. But it was a double truck driver for Thomas Lemoine. See, these subtleties are sometimes hard to pick up when you're watching full speed. No wonder they're tired. He squeezed a lot into that 35 seconds.
And they're exerting a lot of mental energy as well. They've got a flat start, so hard on the pedals. There's a lot of pedaling on this track. There's pumping, and then they're throwing tricks as well. So Thomas Lemoine, a man that never gives up.
Yeah, there you have it. 0.19 separating these guys. That is going to be another tight run for them. Now, Martin Soderstrom's got the crowd on his side. Thomas Lemoine clapping high fives. And Lemoine, my pick. Let's see if he can do me right here tonight. All right, let's take a look at our brackets. Those names illuminated in yellow are the riders who have their differential. Look at this, we've just been blazing through the field now. We're down to 4. Mitch Ropalato leading out Darrell Brown. Thomas Lemoine leading out Martin Soderstrom. As we move into getting closer and closer to giving away that hardware here. Long week of festivities out here in Whistler, British Columbia. Aside from the racing, we also have a photography competition. So take a look at the Deep Summer Photo Challenge through the eyes of Peter Jameson.
Today is August 11th, 2019, the final day of the Deep Summer Photo Challenge. So for my slideshow, I decided to focus on the experiences that I had in Whistler in 2018, which was my first time really on the West Coast. I just kind of wanted to recreate those same experiences, hang out with my friends, have a good time, and hopefully inspire some people. This is the van, and I've been living in it roughly full time since June of last year. the Deep Summer. It's a 72-hour photo challenge that Crankworx puts on in Whistler and Rotorua every year. And they choose 5 photographers and 1 wild card. And they give them 3 days to go and shoot and put together a slideshow with their friends, and it gets displayed in the Olympic Plaza.
We're in Blackcomb, Whistler right now, riding A-Bud. Trail is absolutely unreal, pretty techy, rooty, rocky, typical Canadian feel. Really pumped to be here.
Whistler is so special for me because it was like my first trip really out west. Never really experienced all the rock slabs and just insane terrain out here. Coming from the East Coast, like there aren't trails this gnarly that are just easily accessible.
Oh my gosh, absolute animal.
Vibe in Whistler, ooh. I definitely say the vibe in Whistler is just super positive, like so many good friends around, everyone's riding, having a good time.
You can go to the park completely alone and then you meet up with about 5 or 10 buddies and you're basically not really alone if you're in Whistler.
I think my favorite trail to shoot on, particularly this past 3 days for Deep Summer, has been D1. There are like some nice pockets in the trees and Garrett was wearing a white t-shirt and the light fall was just like pretty harsh and nice. So really enjoyed shooting that trail, and it's also my favorite trail in the bike park to ride.
Favorite trail has got to be Dirt Merchant. I've ridden it all day, every single day since I've been here, so hands down Dirt Merchant.
That one's real tight. It is still the beginning of Crankworx. Today is the last day for Deep Summer, but none of the real events have kind of kicked off, so I'll be able to enjoy the sea to sky for the upcoming week. And then I'm back to Vernon for the rest of the fall, but definitely hope to come back either later this fall and definitely next summer I'll be enjoying some more time throughout Squamish, Pemberton, and Whistler. Looking forward to it.
So good times had by all out here in Crankworx Whistler, especially this guy right here who's been on a tear all week, winning events, qualifying first here in speed and style, moving through these brackets, and he's at the top of the King of Crankworx leaderboard right now. And what am I talking about? Why do I keep talking about the King of Crankworx? This is what it is. We got 3 stops on this world tour. A lot of disciplines at each one of these stops. All riders, men and women, can sign up for as many disciplines as they want. In all these disciplines, many valuable points are up for grabs. Now the riders who collect the most points through all these disciplines will be leading your King and Queen of Crankworx overall. Last season, for the men, Sam Blankensop was the king. And for the women, Jill Kintner took that crown. But this season, a new story. Your current leader right now is the man we've been talking about all day, Mitch Ropolato. He wasn't the current leader rolling into Whistler, but he's been on a tear. Winning dual slalom, winning air downhill. Was it Garbanzo downhill that he won? He can win anything out here. We still have another downhill race coming up on Sunday. But the big story is how many more points can he add to his name here in Cliff Speed and Style. Via Verbeek locking up the Queen's crown last night in Pumptrack. She was emotional when she realized she won that title. It's been a dream of hers forever. And Mitch Ropolato has been dreaming about that crown a lot himself. But right now, a man who wants to pull the rug out from under Mitch Ropolato and cause him to earn less points, that would be Daryl Brown. But Mitch has the advantage going into this lap right now, 0.33 ahead of Daryl.
Ready, watch the gate.
Well, hot out the gate, Mitch Ropolato. He is all business here tonight. So the 360 again, going a little bit sideways.
Wow, big bobble there for Daryl Brown, going for the 360 bar spin. Almost throwing it away, able to grab those bars at the last second and squeeze out the last few degrees of rotation on that 3.
So Mitch really out front here. So another spin from him, so that's consistent. A little bit of defense on the tricks for Mitch.
Back foot bar spin for Daryl Brown. But Mitch through the line with a huge lead. That would be 3.28 seconds ahead of Daryl Brown. Now we're gonna have to go back and look at that first jump, that bobble. That really is the story right now.
Yeah, that is a lot of time that he needs to make up by using tricks. And there you have it, Mitch Ropolato. He will advance. He's the first man into the big final. He is amassing some big points for the King of Crankworx title. He knows it. He's stoked.
So Mitch Ropolato riding fast all day, but when you're going up against a rider like Daryl Brown who has all the tricks in the world, you're hoping you can ride as fast as you can, but you're also hoping that Daryl Brown is going to have a mistake. That mistake came on the first jump here for Daryl. Mitch does his standard 3, looks back at Daryl, and then look at this bobble right here. Oh my gosh, almost landing with his bars backwards a la Thomas Lemoine, but able to kind of turn his hands backwards and grab on the handlebars where they were. Here we go, stop the footage right there. Oh yeah, look, these bars are completely pointing the wrong way, and he's crossing his arms to grab on. All right, roll the tape. He's lucky those bars kept spinning, but it took him a little while to recover after that landing. And Mitch able to just squeeze through these rounds with just this 360, making good on the promise he made when he qualified first earlier on. Mitch Ropalato through to the finals, come on.
Well, you've still got a chance for your man to pop into the finals, but my man is safely into the finals. Mitch Ropalato, your #1 seed, current leader, king of Crankworx, amassing some big points here. Might be able to put a bit of a buffer between him and Adrian Laron here.
Yeah, this is cool. We might see our 2 picks duking it out in the final. For that to happen, my pick, Thomas Lemoine, will have to eliminate Martin Soderstrom. He's getting close. He's doing what he needs to do for that to happen. He's 0.19 ahead of the big Swede. But man, it is hard to root against Martin Soderstrom. I mean, the only reason I find myself doing that right now is because I decided to try my hand at gambling earlier on when you pressured me into our 1 guarantee and 1 surprise. It's nice to have some skin in the game.
Yeah, we've got big invested interests here, but Martin Soderstrom, current series leader, but he is back. He's 0.19 back. Thomas Lemoine, big tricks. So Thomas Lemoine doesn't have a front brake on here. So, wow, he got the X-up in, the double truck driver to X-up.
That's going to be exactly what he needs. Martin Soderstrom got that double tail as well. You know he's going to score 126, but if Lemoine got that trick, like you say, he's definitely going to score higher. Neck and neck coming into this final section.
And there you have it. Thomas Lemoine is ahead on the first jump, and he's ahead on speed.
Oh, the 360 doublet for Martin Soderstrom. He holds on. This will be huge points. Wow! Lemoine through the finish line first by 1.07, but get ready for a big number to be sitting underneath Martin's last name there. A 140. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Get your calculators out.
I just don't think it's enough, though. Look at that. He was 1.07 ahead on speed, and he won the first trick. Your man has done it, Cam.
Advances by an even second right there, but come on. We got to give credit to Martin Soderstrom for absolutely going for it on that difficult jump. A lot of riders steering away from their banger tricks on that jump, but Martin Soderstrom never one to waver while under pressure. So Martin Soderstrom will still have an opportunity to win a bronze medal.
Well, he said it in the lead up to the show. He said he's going to come out and he's going to attack. He's not going to play it safe for this series. And man, that's testament to his guts. He's throwing big tricks there, Ken.
Wow, okay, I'm feeling pretty good about our picks right now. This is crazy.
This has worked out well. We've got a matchup, Mitch Ropalato against Thomas Lemoine. I picked the surprise Mitch Ropalato. Cam McCall has Thomas Lemoine. Both those riders into the final. Look at that huge 360 double tail from Martin Soderstrom. Oh, just barely hanging on.
Yeah, that's good to see. I mean, that 360 double tail is the trick that he always digs deep for in these clutch situations. It's also the trick that broke his leg in 2013, a few days after winning the speed and style. That happened on the final jump in the slopestyle course, so great to see him. Every time he pulls out that trick, it's like conquering demons. We love to get behind the big Swede. So, our bronze medal matchup is set. Daryl Brown will be going up against Martin Soderstrom. And the gold will go to either your choice, Mitch Ropalato, who's currently leading the king of Crankworx overall, or my choice, Thomas Lemoine. Some nice foreshadowing we had at the top of the show, and now we have a treat on our hands in Cliff Speed and Style. Bronze medal and gold medal matchups coming up after the break. Well, welcome back to Whistler here for your Cliff Speed and Style. Our final brackets are set. Bronze medal matchup is determined, gold medal matchup determined, and we are on pins and needles waiting to find out who's going to win the competition. But you know what is really exciting this year at Crankworx? You know, this trend started years ago when Crankworx decided to have equal prize purse for the men and the women's category. And in the last few years, the women have been slaying it at the whip-off. And today, we decided to take it up another notch by opening up the Cliff Speed and Style and having a women's category. We're gonna take a look at some footage from the women's category here. All these female competitors able to make it top to bottom on this course, hitting these jumps and doing the tricks. And you know what? This is a great sign of things to come. Where desire exists, progression is soon to follow. And I'm sure we're gonna be seeing ladies going upside down, sideways, and backwards in the future. And now Makayla Gatto is standing by with two of our competitors in our female category, Cliff Speed and Style. Makayla?
Thanks so much, Cam. Yeah, that looks like such a good time. First time ever women's speed and style. Now, I saw you race the dual slalom earlier this week. Similar track, but now you're throwing in tricks, and it was a time trial format. Does that affect in your head the speed portion at all?
Definitely. I'm a racer, so I've always had troubles in time trials and qualifying and stuff. So I think it could have gone quite faster if we were head-to-head, but it was still an awesome time.
And Casey, I know you come from racing as well, but we've seen on the interwebs and on various movies you've got some good tricks in your bag. I also saw you at the Big White Slopestyle. I want to know, how does speed and style differ from slopestyle?
Well, obviously you have the speed aspect. I mean, you can't really be taking your time out there. But yeah, it was really cool to see all those girls hitting the big jumps and, you know, sending it in the wind. It was sailing weather for us, so yeah.
And yeah, you're not a large human being. How do you deal with wind?
I think if you throw any kind of shape in the air, you'll be better off. So I think, yeah, avoid the dead sailors and the stiff kitties and you'll be good.
Dead sailors and stiff kitties, is that what you said? Kitties, wow. And by the way, number 1 and 2. So congratulations, ladies. We hope to see this at more stops, and I hope to see you guys throwing down sometime in the near future.
Yeah, thanks, Makayla. Way cool to have the women's category out here at Cliff Speed and Style. Hopefully a sign of things to come out there. And right now, we take a look at our brackets. Where we're sitting right now in our men's category, Mitch Ropalato and Thomas Lemoine will be duking it out for the gold. Those were our two picks at the top of the show when we were making our predictions. So we're on pins and needles. And then for the bronze medal matchup, we've got a heater in the gate right now. Now, 2013 was the last time we saw Martin win a competition out here in Whistler, but he's won speed and style more recently than that, last season and this season. He was the last winner in Innsbruck, which was the last event. So he's looking to clean up and add more to his medal count for the 2019 season. But Daryl Brown, coming back from that back injury, looking to be the spoiler for Martin.
So we've seen it all night, the double tail from Martin Soderstrom.
360 double bar spin there for Daryl Brown.
So Daryl Brown, he's coming back from a horrific back injury early in March down in South Africa. So it's great to see him back here and in the bronze medal matchup. Gaining some confidence here. Martin Soderstrom's out front, 360 tail up.
Oh, Daryl Brown just going for it. Looked like a bar spin there. So Martin Soderstrom, knowing he's not going to have to pull out that 3 double whip against Daryl right now. Daryl struggling a bit on that last jump, but Martin Soderstrom will undoubtedly have the advantage here with that double tail up top, crossing the finish line first and nailing that 360 tail up on the last jump.
Well, fitness will start playing a role here. Daryl Brown, he's been off the bike with that injury. He's coming back. He's getting used to competition. This is a long course. It's a long day for them. Martin Soderstrom, he's race ready. He's our series leader. So flawless double tail up from Martin Soderstrom. He's been doing it all night. And as you said, he's able to push through the jump and kind of gain momentum on the landing.
What I like about his double tail ups is you see in slow motion there, he slides his kick foot back off of the crank so they don't spin. He pushes off of the chainstay. That's a veteran move right there. I love the foot out style into that flat right-hand corner from Martin Soderstrom. But Daryl Brown, you touched on it right there. The fact that his fitness is probably not up to snuff. This is a very long day. Their first practice session today was 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning. And here we are hanging out at almost 8 o'clock p.m. It's a long day for a rider just to getting back on the bike. Martin Soderstrom having the advantage right there. It will be 2.05 that Daryl Brown will have to make up. It would take a bit of a fumble from Martin Soderstrom for Daryl Brown to get that bronze medal, but Martin looking pretty good right now. But I'm hearing the drum roll. The hair is standing up on my arm. I'm looking forward to this gold medal matchup right now between our two picks. Your pick, Mitch Ropalato, the #1 qualifier out here, the guy leading the King of Crankworx overall, and Thomas Lemoine, the world champ in this discipline from last year. Lemoine with the huge tricks, Mitch Ropalato faster than anybody out there today.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
So Thomas Lemoine, we know Mitch has the speed aspect here. Thomas Lemoine, he'll have the trick. So how are they going to mix it up? Wow, I think a bit of a missed trick there from Lemoine. He only got the single Barsman 360.
Wow, that was really going to help Mitch Ropalato, who had a 360 of his own.
So Mitch Ropalato, no surprise, he's out front. He's won slalom earlier in the week. He's won Garbanzo downhill. He's a man on momentum here. So now this...
Oh! Lemoine with the 360 double tail whip. Bobbling the pedals a little bit, but knowing that's exactly what he needs to do if he's going up against a true racer here in the form of Mitch Ropalato. Mitch through the line, 1.83 ahead of Thomas Lemoine. But what will the score be for that 360 double tail up on the bottom? A 120. So they're definitely docking him for slipping pedals right there. But if he can clean that up, that might be enough to upset. It's going to be a 0.7 gap between these two guys when they switch sides. Very close, very achievable for Thomas Lemoine if he's able to go fast and land that 360 double whip.
So Mitch was hot out the gate. He already had a bike link before the first turn.
So let's see if he bobbled here on this first jump. He got one bar spin. You know, he was looking for another bar spin and an X up there. So, you know, you got to call it for what it is. He still had a truck driver there, and that was being compared to Mitch's straight 360, but it sure would have helped to get that extra bar spin and X up in there. But here we go, straight 360 for Mitch Ropalato, but look how much is going on right alongside him. Thomas Lemoine dropping slopestyle tricks here in speed and style. A 3 double whip, 2 feet off, 2 feet touching the ground. That's why he only scored a 120. Expect that score to be much higher if he can clean that up in the second run.
Yeah, he's going to have to throw that trick again, but he's going to have to land clean. So 0.7 advantage for Mitch Ropalato. But before that, we're going to see our bronze medal matchup.
Yeah, but before any of that, as these riders make their way to the top of the course, let's really talk about the finesse of Mitch Ropalato. Take me to race school, Andrew.
Well, I want you to look at Mitch Ropalato there. That is full commitment. And when you're in bike park berms, the way he's able to do it, let's look at the angle of his body and the angle of the bike. He's leant the bike over and he's leant with the bike. I mean, that is full commitment. It's eyes on the prize. He's looking at the exit of the turn and his body's in line with the angle of that bike. And that you can do. The steeper the berm is, the more you can lean it over. It's textbook style. Elbows out, eyes on the prize. And my surprise prize, he could be winning tonight and also cementing his name at the top of that King of Crankworx.
So a lot on the line out here. This is what you're referring to. Mitch Ropalato, 13 points ahead of Adrian Larone in the King of Crankworx overall. He knocked out Larone earlier on in this race. And now if he's able to win this race, he'll add an extra 100 points to his name. Adrian Larone, unfortunately, relegated to the crowd, having to transform into a spectator here and focus his attention on Sunday's downhill race, his last opportunity to earn some more points. But man, Mitch Ropolato already won a downhill race out here earlier on in the week. He is looking good right now. But you know, all of that is pushed to the back of his mind. He wants to win this race right now. So with the bronze medal on the line right now, in case you have a short attention span like me, let's rewind the clock to remind you how we got here. Run number 1 in this bronze medal matchup, Martin Soderstrom going up against Daryl Brown.
Well, Martin Soderstrom, he's been throwing these double tail whips all night flawlessly, be able to push through the jump.
Daryl Brown has been sending those 360 double bar swings. They've been scoring well, but Martin Soderstrom, his speed and fitness tonight is on point.
Yeah, our series leader, Martin Soderstrom, looking to wrap up this title here tonight, doing everything he can against Daryl Brown. Big trick for him on the last jump. Daryl Brown missing the trick, so that really is going to hurt his chances.
Yeah, just a bar spin for Daryl Brown on that last jump is definitely going to hurt. He's wishing he got that backflip tuck no-hander combo that's been serving him well all night. Martin Soderstrom with a decent-sized lead coming into their second run right now. The run that will determine who walks away with the bronze medal.
It's a full 2 seconds that Daryl Brown needs to make up. That's a mammoth task for him. So Daryl Brown coming back from injury. This is a great ride, all things considered. Even if he can't do it, he will still get a 4th position, but Martin Soderstrom is the man with momentum on his side. A full 2 seconds to play with here.
If you're Daryl Brown right now, you're thinking of 2 things. Ride my own race and pull out a little Martin Soderstrom tall voodoo doll and hope that something happens, because 2.05 is a big gap.
It's crucial to get out front and try force a mistake. If Martin Soderstrom is ahead, it's just going to be easy for him to take it easy. But look at it. The double tail whip.
Oh, wow.
And as we said it. So Daryl Brown, the mistake coming from him. Martin Soderstrom, a victory lap into the bronze medal here on that electric pink bike. Unfortunate for Daryl Brown. Coming back from injury, he'll only be able to manage a 4th position tonight. But all things considered, like I said before they dropped in, that's a great ride for Daryl Brown, making his way down the course.
Oh, look at this. Martin Soderstrom celebrating the fact that he's had a fantastic season on the Crankworx Speed and Style World Championship Tour here. Daryl Brown through the line right now. Unfortunately, that mistake. But let's think about the season Martin Soderstrom has had. He just basically completed the collection, starting the season off with a silver medal, getting that gold in Innsbruck, and then finishing off with a bronze. He's got the full collection, and it doesn't take a mathematician to figure out what that means. Let's send it down to Makayla Gatto with some great news from Martin Soderstrom.
Look at you. Look at you, you little show pony. Nice, impressive. Are you sure you don't have a little bit of voodoo going on that pink bike there? Because you just got a bronze medal.
Oh, wow. This was really tough, but then it feels even better. Yeah, I just felt like I wanted to put on the best possible show for the fans here, and I mean, I'm getting older, so...
Well, I think you did just that, and I've got a little bit more of good news for you. You are the Speed and Style World Champion.
Yay! Thanks, everyone. Woo!
Yes. Well, big ups to Martin Soderstrom there. That is so great to see. He struggled with so much. Pretty much every year we're talking about him coming back from an injury. It's insane when you hear him actually list out that path of injury and the amount of times he's come back and won things. It's ridiculous. So Crankworx Speed and Style World Championship title to his resume. It's great to see. So who's going to take the gold medal here in Whistler in the Cliff Speed and Style? It's going to be one of these competitors here. And let's take a look back at run 1 to remind you where we stand. What are our deficits? Here we go. Let's look back.
Well, Mitch Ropolato, number 1 seed, came out firing out the gate. Thomas Lemoine would miss his trick. He only managed the truck driver there.
So the big story right now, we know what to expect from Mitch Ropalato, a really fast run with 2 beautiful 360s, but 360s that don't score that high because they don't have variations in them. But Thomas Lemoine, a guy who's riding quick and doing things like this, 360 double tail. If he can clean that up, he will score very high, and he may be able to cross the finish line a few bike lengths behind Mitch Ropalato and still take the gold.
Yeah, and the challenge is he's got 0.7 to make up. So that is the tricky thing for Thomas Lemoine. Even if he tidies up that run, is it going to be enough?
0.7 is manageable with those tricks. We are 35 seconds away from handing out a gold medal.
Ready, watch the gate.
So they're off like a rocket. Mitch Ropalato, our #1 seed, our King of Crankworx leader.
Man,
like you
quick.
said, you're going to see the 360. It's clean.
The cash roll from Thomas Lemoine, and he holds on. Wow, the judges have been docking for dropped feet here, but that trick is humongous.
Wow, that is creative as well. Look, he's thrown a bar spin.
Come on!
It looks like he's given up. I think if he's thrown a bar spin off that drop, he's playing up to the crowd. He gave it his all. Big up to Thomas Lemoine. He went out with a bang, but Mitch Ropalato powering down to line. That'll be the win. The gold medal goes to Mitch Ropalato.
I will tell you what, it has been a long time since we've seen an athlete win speed and style with just 360s. It just goes to show how fast Mitch Ropalato is and how diverse of a rider you have to be to win any race. This one of the longest courses we've ever seen in speed and style, one of the most technical. And Mitch Ropalato, look at this. This is 3 wins this event. You gotta be kidding me. But Thomas Lemoine, he was looking for those 140 points you get for a cash roll, unfortunately dropping a pedal. But look at this, Mitch Ropalato soaking it up. This is a case of deja vu. We've seen so many times this event. And now let's just deja vu all over again and send it down for a winner's interview with Makayla Gatto.
All right, 3 wins this week. Still leading, an extra 100 points towards that King of Crankworx standing. What are you even running on right now, man? Adrenaline, gasoline?
Luck, a lot of luck. Man, I don't know. I was just telling these boys when we were driving up, they're like, oh my gosh, dude, how are you doing this? And I'm like, I don't know.
Do you do anything to prepare for something like this? Do you do like a mock Crankworx week with your buddies?
I mean, all this winter I went to Florida, did base miles, got ready for downhill season, and then my trainer Fed just made sure I was putting out some serious power.
And then with the tricks, how much time do you spend on tricks?
None. That was my first 360 you all saw in 8 months.
Woo! Well, congratulations. Your winner here today, Mitch Ropalato.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mitch, way to go. That is great to see. He says luck. I don't think so. I think it's skill.
I wholeheartedly disagree. Didn't we say a few years ago if you were to design races or a race series or a festival, you would design it for this man? That is amazing that he's won so many events, but I'm not surprised, actually.
Yeah, well, it's been a great week for Mitch Ropalato, and it's a great week for all of you slopestyle fans out there because the climax of the Crankworx FMBA Slopestyle World Championship is coming up in less than 24 hours. Will that man right there, Brett Reeder, be able to win the Triple Crown? He won the first 2 events of the season. There's 3 events this year, so you have to be unstoppable in order to win that Triple Crown. We're kicking that off at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. Red Bull Joyride. Man, what a ridiculous race out here in Cliff Speed and Style. There's a look at how the story went. And Needles, this is the time of the show where I got to ask you your final thoughts. What do you think?
Well, I'm just so amazed. Mitch Ropalato managed to seriously win this event.
So we're going to digest all the action out here in Cliff Speed and Style when we come back after this break. Do not go away. What a great day of competition out here at Cliff Speed and Style. And I mean, we talk about it and we refer to it as a surprise, seeing Mitch Ropalato not only qualify first, but win the event. But how many times can we be surprised in one event? This is 3 wins for the guy.
No, as he said, he says it's luck, but we know how skilled that guy is. The events are almost designed around him. But look at that. Martin Soderstrom takes the Speed and Style World Championship. He got the bronze medal tonight. Thomas Lemoine finished in 2nd. Billy Meeklem with that win down in Rotorua, he's in 3rd.
What a great season here. And you know what? If you're enjoying all of this Speed and Style action on Red Bull TV, you better check out more action we have. Don't miss out on even more. Check out the bike channel on Red Bull TV. Download the app for free and enjoy the best live events, films, and shows. Sign up to download your favorite content and watch it offline, anywhere, anytime. So we got to thank all you viewers out here for tuning in. If you're watching us on normal TV from the comfort of your home, we thank you for joining us. If you're watching on the Red Bull TV app, then we ask you stick around because we're going to digest the finer details of this Cliff Speed and Style shortly. What a great race. So much to talk about. Don't go away. Well, 35 seconds of dual slalom or dual speed and style action right here. We had dual slalom at Blackcomb a few nights ago. What do you think about moving the speed and style and the dual slalom over to the other venue?
Well, I'm just happy wherever you put it, if you're going to build a course like that, we had such crazy action. It was an all-round course. There was flat turns, there were big jumps, there were berms, there was speed, and it had length. So they made for great racing.
Yeah, crazy thing is now that the speed and style is over, they're going to get some crazy trick riders out there and do a best trick competition. We can hear some cheering. There might be a practice session going down right now, but it just kind of feels like the action never sleeps out here in Whistler.
No, I mean, it's the epicenter of mountain biking. It's where it all kicked off. It's so great that we come back. What an amazing place to have racing action, slopestyle, downhill. It's got it all.
And speed and style is a great home for some of those slopestyle athletes who maybe fell off tour. It is incredibly hard to earn those points and get onto the Crankworx FMBA Slopestyle World Championship Series. So we're looking forward to seeing guys like Thomas Lemoine, who finished 3rd, who is currently sitting 3rd in the King of Crankworx overall right now, have an opportunity to add some more points to his name. He's got 484. So, you know, say a crazy thing happens and he goes on and wins Joyride tomorrow, he'll have 584, so he would slide into 2nd place. But Mitch Ropalato looking really good right now. When it becomes Sunday and you got Adrian Lerone and Mitch Ropalato racing downhill together, that will be pretty interesting to see who's going to walk away with that King of Crankworx. You got to think Mitch is looking pretty good, but you also got to think that Adrian Lerone is willing to do whatever it takes to get that King's title. He won it in 2017, and coincidentally, he's with us right now. Let's send it down to Makayla.
Adrian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you for sure.
Adrian, disappointing night for you tonight. Let's not beat around the bush. What are you going to be able to do come Sunday in the downhill?
I don't want to disappoint, but I will not race on Sunday. I already did 5 events this week. I'm really tired, and I just found somebody who was stronger than me, and I'm pretty happy for Mitch to lead the King of Crankworx now, and I think I'm done.
Well, we're sad to hear that, but in all honesty, it's been great watching you race. So congrats on a good, solid season. I wish you could have been there on Sunday, and have a good off-season.
Thank you very much. I'm really proud for being part of this battle. All the guys are really killing it. Everybody's getting way more versatile and more consistent. So it's such an honor for me to be part of those guys. And yeah, I wish the best for Mitch at the downhill and the best for Thomas for the slopestyle.
Well, congrats. Humble in victory and humble in defeat, Adrian. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Well, we'll take a look at that. The plot thickens right there. Adrian Lerone not going to race downhill on Sunday. I mean, Mitch, can we kind of say it right now? I feel like Mitch just won the King of Crankworx overall. I suppose we have to wait for scenarios to carry on, but with only 100 points available for a win in slopestyle for Thomas Lemoine, that would only put him in the second place. So it's not for us to say, but it's pretty simple math. I'm pretty sure Mitch Ropalato has locked this stuff up. Let's take a look at how he was able to win the Cliff Speed and Style out here tonight by rolling the footage back and checking out the 2 runs from this gold medal matchup. Now, the 360 is the only trick that Mitch has, but it's the only trick that he needed because he was riding so fast. Now, riders like Thomas Lemoine who have more tricks had to dig so deep into their bag doing the cash roll there. But he knew if he blew a pedal, he wasn't going to get those 140 points that the judges would award for a perfectly executed cash roll. So he decided to just cruise through the rest of this run, save his energy for tomorrow for Red Bull Joyride. And Mitch Ropalato, quali's first, wins the event, his 3rd win for the week so far. And we're looking forward to catching up with him at this very moment right now. It sounds like he's got a headset on. Mitch, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you guys. Loud and clear.
What up, man? Hey, how long has it been since you competed in speed and style?
Probably two or 3 years. I'm not sure exactly.
You said the last time you did a 360 was 8 months ago. Where was that?
I don't actually know. I just made that number up, but I don't remember the last time I 360'd my trail bike, to tell you the truth.
It's just like riding a bike.
Yeah, dude, I was so nervous. You can ask Kyle this morning. We get here, and I'm like, he's like, what are you so nervous about? I'm like, dude, I haven't 360'd in so long. I'm like shaking like a dog shit in peach pits.
Well, Mitch, you've been downplaying your skill, your work. How much work did you put in the offseason? You spoke about the base miles. We know you've been focused on World Cup downhill. I mean, I know that you can't come out here and be unfit and be able to smash all those competitors in slalom, Gopro, and now speed and style.
Yeah, no, like I was, after Ligier, I was like a little down on my power and stuff, so I got home the last 2 weeks before this race. I've just been at home just working hard and making sure I was ready for this week. And man, in my head, I talked like it was going to go down like this, but man, actually doing it was like another thing. I was like, holy cow, I actually did it.
Yeah, you say that if you're thinking you're losing. I have a feeling you've been visualizing this moment right here. It's been going exactly to plan. You put in the time, the energy, you're here on point. You won 3 events, and guess what? We did some math. Adrian Larone just told us he's not going to compete in downhill on Sunday. So, drum roll, please. Hey, Mitch, you're the 2019 king of Crankworx, my man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. That's freaking, it's pretty cool.
Way cool, man.
I mean, it was, yeah, like I said before, man, it was in the realm of like I could do it, and I just needed to like execute perfectly, and man, it's crazy that it actually happened.
Hey, Mitch, all the training's paid off, and can you just leave the World Cup circuit, the EWS circuit to the side, just join us for 2020 and try to defend that crown? What do you say?
We'll see what we got. We'll see.
It's so impossible to nail you down and get you to focus on one thing, and that's why you thrive in this circumstance. You're the king for 2019. Thanks for all the entertainment. Thanks for talking to us tonight, and congratulations.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, Mitch. Way to go out there for Mitch Ropalato. And thank you for joining us out here today for Cliff Speed and Style. If you enjoyed that, I can guarantee you one thing. You're going to love Red Bull Joyride tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time here on the west coast of Canada. This is what we call the slopestyle of the Super Bowl of slopestyle mountain biking, because it's the spot where it all started. It's the end of the season. Brett Reeder has a chance to win the Triple Crown. I mean, the first time it ever happened was last year. Nikolai did it. Those guys have been bouncing wins back and forth. If you need any more than that, just go on and look at these guys' Instagram pages. They've been practicing crazy tricks. But what a crazy Cliff Speed and Style finals. Andrew Needling, final thoughts.
Well, Mitch Ropalato, he qualified fastest. He was planning to win. He had the king of Crankworx in his dreams, but to actually pull it off and withstand that pressure, unbelievable performance from him.
Yep, unbelievable show out there. Amazing track, amazing competitors, amazing fans. We thank you for joining us out there. I've been your host, Cam McCall, alongside Andrew Needling and Makayla Gatto. We will see you tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. for Red Bull Joyride. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll see you there. Thank you, world.